Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Fright Like a Girl, where we talk about all things girlhood and horror from a female and feminist perspective of your girls, your besties, Morgan and
Brenda.
woo.
Oh, hold on. Let me do the confetti. Hold on.
That's our theme song every week until we get an actual one. Snapping, clapping, and us going boop, boop, boop.
I need to tell Jordan, your little brother, to make a little jingle
That
because
man does not write music.
because his one podcast, one thing, I was like, what the
Oh, he
hell?
probably he probably used one of like a royalty free thingy,
Oh, I literally was like,
which I mean
what?
we could easily do and look up, but that's boring. We need
True.
some pizzazz. We need our own personal created one,
If
We
I
gotta
could pick,
find a musician and be like, hey, who wants to help us?
if I could pick a artist to make our theme song, it would probably be Sexy Red and Fleetwood Mac together.
Oh my
Literally
God.
together.
Uh, I mean, in a way, it would kind of be good because I feel like that would be kind of chaotic. And also, the differences of styles would work because this is a very eclectic show. We're all
Hmm
over the place. We're chaotic. But also, I feel like maybe Sexy Red should be replaced by like Spirit Box.
But, I feel like, mm, I guess, or we could replace her with possibly SZA. Uh,
Ooh, I like that. I
I
like that.
I think I would get behind it, and then I feel like it'd
She's
mesh
a
well.
she's a horror girly.
It'd mesh a little bit better with Fleetwood Mac,
Or Megan the
but
Stallion. She's also a
that
horror
too,
girly.
that too. Oh yeah, Megan the Stallion, SZA, Fleetwood Mac, and Spirit Box all together. I would be
Oh my
so
god.
happy. We're gonna speak this into existence. I am gonna run into Stevie Nicks one day, and I'll be like, Stevie girl, and she's gonna be like, Brenda. I'll be like,
She
wow,
just
how have you
knows you.
been?
She's a fan of the pod.
Yeah. And she's gonna be like, how have you been? And I'll be like, I've been good, Stevie.
You're
When
like,
are we gonna
where's
get to
Lindsay?
uh, mm, are they together?
I mean, I don't think they're like together, but you do know that they're like back together musically, right? Like they came out with a new song together. They were like
When?
promoting it, and then I'm pretty sure it already came out like very, very recently. Yeah, so the
No.
internet's like, oh my God. And everyone's been posting like, the like Silver Springs edits and stuff. It's like they found
Oh.
their way back to each other.
Oh. I'd be like, girl, what happened? What's the tea? And then we sit her down on the pod and then she opens up and she's like, I'm only talking to you because you're a witchy brown woman. And be like, right. And she just loves being very inclusive and yeah, she's like, I can't talk I didn't talk to the other people that are wanting me to do podcasts. So I'm talking to both of y'all. So yeah, that's how it's gonna happen. And then with
Hmm.
Megan the Stallion, she just would be so happy. She'd just be like, "Oh my God, yes!" And be like,
Yeah.
"We
She's
don't
just
support."
our bestie.
Yeah, and then plus because we don't support like women abusers and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and she would be like,
We're team Kendrick, not Drake.
and we're also team Megan, not team Trey Songs.
What
Um,
did he do?
he shot her. He shot her. There's a whole
He shot? I what?
wait, Trey Songs? Oh my God, Tory Lanez. My
Okay,
bad.
I was so confused for a second. I was
Oh,
like, I
it
thought
says
maybe I just didn't know that like he was like behind it, like he made Tori shoot her or something. That's what I was
my
thinking. I was
bad.
like, wait, what?
I'm sorry. Sorry, wrong. I'm
Just
so
out
sorry.
here,
I'm
you're gonna get hit with a defamation
I'm
lawsuit from Troy Song,
I'm sorry, Mr. Songs. I
our
apologize.
horror king, star of Texas Chainsaw. This week felt like the shortest week ever, in my
To,
opinion.
to you, this was a very long week for me.
What happened? Tell us.
Nothing like crazy. I just really wanted it to be Friday so I can drink. I don't like drinking during the week. Uh, so I have to wait until Saturday. And then
You
yesterday,
can't be hungover at work.
and then yesterday, I was drinking mimosas all day and I threw up. Eh, let's go. I kind of want one right now, but I worked out and I have been good. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Might have a mimosa. We'll see.
Ooh. The other day, I finally got my first pumpkin goodies of the season from my local bakery. I got a slice of pumpkin coffee cake. So
Hmm.
good. And they have like little chunks of cream cheese icing like inside the cake.
Oh, I'm
And
actually
then
really jealous.
a
Mm.
pumpkin spice frap, cream frap. So like
Mm.
no coffee because I'm not a
Oh,
coffee drinker. So I literally get like pumpkin milkshakes basically. So
that
yeah,
sounds so freaking good.
it was delicious and I finished the drink very fast.
Whenever she told me I got my pumpkin stuff, I was like, stop talking to me.
You bitch.
Right? I was like, oh, it's just because I want to get pumpkin stuff and then I get freaked out. Like for Starbucks, for example, I think their iced pumpkin chai, which doesn't that sound delicious? Pumpkin chai.
Sure.
It's yeah, I can't drink it because I look at the calories and I'm like, you
Do you think
stupid.
I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone make a pumpkin matcha?
Oh my God, that'd be delicious. But yeah,
I know,
don't
like I
look
kind of want to try one, like just be like go somewhere and order a matcha and be like, can you put some pumpkin syrup in that?
and then they're gonna be like, what the
Although
fuck?
I don't know now, like the more I think about it, I feel like it might be kind of gross.
Maybe just a little bit. But yeah, I can't have pumpkin stuff right now because I get freaked out. Just trauma things. So yeah. But even though I drink, but I rather I guess drink my calories as in alcohol instead of that. So
Mm-hmm.
uh,
And
but
I'm the opposite.
yeah, I would be like, Morgan, do you want to drink today? She's like, no, we're gonna get a fucking milkshake from Sonic. And I'm like, okay.
Alcohol makes me feel bad with a very small amount of it. So,
Really? Is that what you don't
yes.
ever? Oh, damn. So I'm over here just like, bro, give me another drink right meow. Ah, okay. Anywho, I'm gonna go to the next thing. This is me transitioning. How was the new Conjuring movie?
Okay. Yes. Yes. We're talking all about it today. That is our topic, which you may be thinking, girls, you just
Oh,
said that you don't want to talk about just new movies like that, like every other horror podcast does. But hear me out. This is fine because um there's a lot of
there's a lot of
politics
controversy.
involved with this organization, franchise, whatever, from current events to just Ed and Lorraine Warren in general, because obviously, like being like ghost hunter type people, people who believe in supernatural stuff, like that's going to be a highly debated thing no matter what. So, yeah, they're very controversial. So, we're going to talk about that too. So, therefore, it fits in with our more specific subjects than just discussing the movie. Although I am going to just discuss the movie. But yeah, I finally saw it last night. So, which it's funny saying that I finally saw it because to myself it feels like I waited like so long after its release. And my friend was just saying that too. I was talking to him on Instagram. He's like, I hate that I haven't seen it yet when it's literally been a week since it came out. Like it hasn't been long at all, but like all the horror people who haven't seen it yet are like, "Oh my god, I still haven't seen it." Meanwhile, it's only been a week.
I saw
Um
spoilers like immediately. I think it was like the same day, and I was like, "How did y'all get this? I'm confused." And so,
People suck. I don't know. I don't well, I mean, I guess it's just for attention, but it's so stupid and lame that people post spoilers like that.
yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I guess I just saw the movie." And if you know me, if I see one thing about a movie, I just won't watch it because I'm like, okay, I already know. I already know too much. It's really like it's actually really annoying. I think I have a problem, but like I don't know. I just can't bring myself to watch something that I already know how it's going to end. So,
So I
yeah.
wrote down a lot of notes. Look at all. Oh wait, it's not gonna show up because damn. Okay, never mind. Before I get into this movie though, did you end up rewatching any of the old ones? No.
So, no, I ended up watching Bob's Burgers.
Damn. I mean, relatable and
I
understandable.
Look, I couldn't bring myself to watch any of the movies last night or on, I think it was Friday too. I couldn't bring myself to watch anything because my husband went to sleep early and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get scared. And so, yeah, no, I couldn't do it. And then I was like, I'm gonna watch it during the daytime, and then I just couldn't do it even in the day. I was like, I'm scared, stop. And I haven't watched like, you know how I feel like we've talked about this several times, how I don't like watching certain movies in certain
Mm-hmm.
places because I'm scared of the spirits. And I know some people don't
Of
believe in that.
conjuring up the spirits.
Yes, yes. No, it's true, you guys. If you're Hispanic, you know, or if you have any type of, I don't know, if you're just,
Spiritual.
yes, spiritual at all, you understand where I'm coming from. But my mom didn't let us watch like certain movies in the house because uh spirits. And like y'all might think, oh, it's not true. Nope, nope, no, 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 nope. It's very true, very true. Especially whenever they start speaking Latin, I'm gonna fuck. I'm turning that shit off immediately. Hell no. So yeah, there's one time we watched no, no. We watched one of the Conjuring movies. Me and my sister, we watched the Conjuring movie. It was one of them. I think it might have been the first or the second. I think, or was it an Annabelle movie? Anywho, I just remember we got Chipotle and I was eating Chipotle in the movie theater.
Mm.
Anywho, it was a good time. We watched the movie. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was Annabelle because like I saw the devil and I was like, oh, scary. It's like the black figure, and then it's the two nurses, and they're trying to get rid of her, and I'm pretty sure the devil was in it. Oh, let me not say his name. But anywho, I remember all that very, very, very vividly. And then my sister was like, "Yeah, just sleep in my room," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I thought she was joking, and then I literally started getting ready for bed, and she was like, "Come in my room," and I was like, "Okay." And so I'm over there sleeping like a baby. And then my sister apparently got like sleep paralysis and felt that someone was sitting on top of her and like choking her out and she saw stuff and I was just there living my best life. So yeah, my sister can't watch certain stuff and then she also can't go to cemeteries because she sees things. Um And like, yeah, that girl, she's touched. Because she's I feel like in a
She
way,
is the new Lorraine Warren.
oh, it's kind of creepy. But for me, the only thing that I feel that I have, or like I can sense like energies, like if you are like mad or like I don't know, just off, I feel it and I'm like, ugh,
You're an empath.
I'm like, ugh, can you like lighten up or something? And then I can also just like I don't know. I guess that's why like movies kind of like sometimes I love movies, but sometimes like new movies they bore me because I can just kind of like I figure out shit way too easily and yeah, you can't get shit by me because I just figure it out and I see it. I see how things play out and then it happens and I'm like, whoop, deja vu. So yeah, that's my fun little stuff. Yeah.
Um, First of all, I have been craving what? Chipotle. Lord
Uh-huh.
have mercy. For a while, I feel like, and I don't know why, but I really kind of want Chipotle. I haven't
Well,
had
if you
Chipotle in forever.
well, if you actually come over, I'll get us Chipotle. But now I'm working. Me, 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 me. I'm
No,
sick
I'm
of
gonna
it.
come over very soon. Ooh, which I know we're on to the subject of the Conjuring now, but
Uh-huh.
I forgot to say this before,
What?
so I'm saying it now because I remembered that yes, we have to plan when I am going to come over because I figured out a craft for us to do. So, which
I
also,
swear to God. What?
so my annual Girls Halloween Craft Weekend with my mom and our friends is this weekend.
What?
And we have one craft that we're probably not gonna end up being able to do because it was like I don't know if you've seen people make like mosaic stuff with CDs, like broken CDs, because like shiny kind of disco-y type thing. So we're gonna do that with like little pumpkin shapes or whatever.
Oh.
But the CDs that we got are exceptionally hard to break for some reason. Like we watched
Mm-hmm.
videos of people doing it online, they're doing it fine. Our CDs won't break. I don't know what's happening. So we're probably gonna have to axe that craft and like ideally find another one to replace it. And I suggested one that we've had stuff for years that I've wanted to do for years
Mm-hmm.
um, so it's and my mom doesn't want to do it because she's not into it for whatever reason. I don't. I feel like once we do it, then I feel like she's just not able to see the vision. And then once I
What
do
is
it
it?
with you, she's gonna be like, "Oh, it's cute," and I'm gonna be like, "Girl."
I'm scared. What is it?
Okay, so have you seen um those like decor signs that it's like press for champagne and it has like in a cute frame and like a little doorbell button or sometimes like a bell and it says ring for champagne instead. No, here, let me send you the picture real quick of
No.
but I want
I'm
to do
working late.
that. And we literally got these mirrors to use as the frame from 99-cent store like 3 or 4 years ago, and we still haven't done this craft, but I want to do
We
it
can do a
obviously.
Halloween one and
Yes.
press for booze.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one for you. Literally, I was
You,
thinking like, I mean, there's so many possibilities you could do for Halloween. Press
yeah,
for candy, press for a trick,
scares.
press for a treat, press for a trick or treat, press for a spell, press for a fortune, and then like just use instead of having like that background that it's on be plain, do like
Hmm.
a cute piece of like Halloween scrapbook paper.
I
So
think I
yeah.
might make one for my husband and be like, press for this dick. Okay, I'm sorry.
But here, I want to show you. I want to get these for ours when we make it because I love them. If you like them. If not, I can just get the one pack for myself and you can have a different doorbell on yours. But look how cute. They're little Starburst doorbells.
We need to figure out. Oh, that's freaking cute.
Right? Right. And then I don't know if we want to use the frames that I have, or we can go together to a thrift store like near you and look at frames, or I can look here before I come to you. I think I'll probably do that. Look and see if I find frames that I'd rather use instead of the mirrors.
Hmm.
But because then we can still use those for a future craft weekend. So
So,
yeah.
are you
Yeah, I
gonna
really
come
want to do that
over?
craft
Are you gonna
at
come over
some point.
after your craft weekend?
Um, well, I mean, yes, because it will be after the craft weekend. But when, I don't know yet. That's to be determined. So anyway, back to the Conjuring.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, back on Ed and Lorraine, they are like kind of very controversial figures because, as I said, just anything involving like supernatural and paranormal stuff is going to be because, there's a lot of non-believers out there. So a lot of people just think all the situations are just fake to begin with. But then I feel like there's also, if I'm not misremembering, there's also a big chunk of people who like think the situations might be real, but that Ed and Lorraine were kind of just like grifters, sort of, who just capitalize on like the
Hmm.
family's like
Hmm.
uh bad situations to earn like fame and money. I
Hmm.
did not have time to look up more articles and look more into that before, which I wanted to do. Because I know I've read a bit about it in the past, but I don't really remember much. So I was gonna say I haven't really like read enough about it and looked into it too much to have a real opinion on like whether I think Ed and Lorraine were like okay people or bad people or not. But I feel like I did read like quite a bit about it like years and years ago.
Hmm.
Um I'm pretty sure, and like obviously I did not come away with that opinion. So I feel like I don't believe that, but I mean, who knows? I
I
mean, it
will.
could be it could be all of the above. Some of the situations could have been real, some could have been completely fake and hoaxes on both their part and the family's part, or just their part. Some situations they could have been fine and did help the people. Some they maybe did use for fame, like it could be all of them.
Yeah, I will say that Ed was a POS and sexually assaulted women. So that
Okay, okay.
I will not
That
stand for.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't definitely not remember the sexual assaulting part, but I did
Well,
feel like I kind of did remember about him just not really being a good person.
yeah, the sexual assault is more like I don't know how far it went, but it still is a form of sexual assault, like just grabbing
Hmm.
women like
Okay, okay.
inappropriately and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then plus he used to beat the shit out of Lorraine and then because he was a drunk and like he just was not the greatest person. And then he
Yeah.
would always constantly have affairs on Lorraine and then
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I
crazy
didn't
stuff.
remember like all those details, but I did remember like I did have residual feelings that he was not great and
Mm-hmm.
that their relationships in the movies are obviously like very
Traumatized.
romanticized.
Yes,
Yeah.
girl. He used to beat the shit out of that woman. He'd be like, "You didn't scare them enough. I told you." And then, I'm sorry. I can't. I
I'm just
told you.
imagining, you're just making me imagine like if you ever got beat, like then you would start busting out laughing laughing.
I'm like, bro, did you really just hit me in front of these people?
You're like,
I think I literally would just ask, like, did you really just hit me in front of these people? And then I'd look at the people and be like, why are you not jumping this man? Jump him.
I was
Uh,
literally gonna say, I that's what I was imagining, and I was about to say, then we all the people just jump him.
like, jump him. I'm just a girl. Jump this man. And then, yeah, that's how I could see it going down. But I really would laugh. Like, I think if I were to be like hit by a man, I would just be like, okay, what the fuck? And then, but yeah, wait. And then there's another thing that I was going to talk about with Ed and Lorraine. Apparently, and I don't know because this was like a brief TikTok video. Apparently, the Amityville house genuinely scared the shit out of both of them, and they're like, "Oh, that's too much for us. Nope, nope."
Which is funny because I feel like that's like one of the most debated about cases.
Mm-hmm.
Like so
Oh,
much so that obviously it got movies and books and stuff way before the Conjuring universe, obviously. So
mhm.
yeah, I just think it's kind of funny that that is probably like from their perspective the most like solid case because if you said like they were like so scared by it, but then like also one of the most debated cases by the public, which again, I feel like it could be true that that house
Mhm.
was extremely haunted, but also simultaneously that the guy actually did just murder his family and not because of the spirits, like he could have just used that as an excuse. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like both things can be true still.
Yeah, but I will also say, didn't he have some type of like schizophrenia or like undiagnosed like thing? I'm
I am
if
not
I'm
sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, especially for like the time as it
mhm.
happened, obviously, in the past, like every disease ever, not it's but especially mental illnesses and ones amongst women um were like, underdiagnosed or not known about and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised. I don't remember if I have ever heard that or not though.
and didn't it get like worse because he was like an alcoholic and everything? And like, you know how like if certain stuff goes untreated and then you're constantly drinking and doing drugs and everything, it just kind of like heightens stuff. That was like
Yeah.
one of the things that I saw, like, is it really haunted or did this man just have undiagnosed mental health issues and we
Hmm.
just
And I
assume
say, why not both?
that
Um,
is true? I still think
um,
it was definitely some type of possession, but that's just me.
mhm.
That's just me. And you know why?
Is is that guy still alive? I forget if he is or not.
I don't know, girl. I
I
really don't
forget
know.
his name. Amityville.
It was Paul Delamonte. I just made that name up. I'm so sorry. I don't know why.
George Lutz. Okay, that's what I
Georgia
thought
Lutz.
his name was. I not the Lutz. I did not remember that part, but I thought it was Lutz.
In a
Wait.
room.
Oh no, he long dead. He died in 2006.
Oh,
Why was I
wow.
thinking he was still alive? What the fuck?
Because you wanted him to be alive. It's okay.
I was like, you can write him a letter, Brenda. You can find out yourself.
Oh, hell no. Okay, can I say something really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
If you actually write jailees, inmates, oh my God. If you actually take time to write inmates, especially people who have murdered people and like terrible people, and you take the time to write them, there's something wrong with you. Like, apparently, Brian Cronenberg or whatever that fucking freak's name is,
Ugh.
and yes, I'm calling him a freak because
Uh-huh.
that man's a freak. Um, apparently he's been getting proposed to left and right and women want
Mm.
him, and I'm like, what kind of sick woman are you?
Okay, I'm just gonna read off my notes because
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Because Brenda's gotta go, unfortunately. I gotta go day drink. Mm,
I
mm, mm,
think
mm,
The
mm.
Conjuring 1 and 2 are like God tier to me. Like they're both so good. and scary. And no matter how many times I rewatch them, they still scare me. They're also the only ones in the whole franchise that I have watched multiple times. I'm pretty sure I
Wait,
haven't watched any of the
is
others.
is the Conjuring one the one where you the girl from the kissing booth, she gets like yeah,
Yes. The girl from the kissing. And Renesmee. Don't forget Renesmee.
I don't know who that woman is. The
Renesmee.
baby?
Yes.
Oh.
She's not a baby in The Conjuring. I mean, she wasn't a baby when she was Renesmee either. But anyway, again, the third was just so I don't really know what to say about it. I haven't rewatched it since it came out. This one, for some reason, I thought and was expecting it to, I guess because of the reactions, I was expecting it to be like back on par with one and two, but for me, it was not. I did still enjoy it, but I didn't think it was scary at all.
Really?
Um, yeah, it was a very sweet and touching send off for the Warrens and Patrick and Vera as them. But I thought they focused like too much on making it that and not enough on the actual haunting and the family that was haunted. And I think that was kind of my problem with number three also. I feel like one and two are probably a bit stronger because they do heavily focus on the hauntings, and we still also see a lot of personal stuff with the Warrens also, but it's still very much like about the hauntings, and the stories are very stay very close to the actual cases. Whereas in three and this one, they added a lot of made up stuff about like what the Warrens were going through and stuff. Like in this one, their daughter is helping them with the case.
Hmm.
But in real life, she never did that and she did stay away from doing that. But okay, so also in this one, her daughter's helping. Not only is her daughter helping, she's a young adult and she's just gotten engaged. So like early 20s probably. And but in real life for this case with the Sproul family, again, daughter not involved, never involved in the paranormal investigations. But you know who was involved? Her son, who was in his early 20s at this case. So the timeline is like way off. And I feel like I wish I would have been able to go back and look at the timeline of the Conjuring universe because now I'm very interested to see if they retconned, like, if in the whole universe her age is retconned or they just recently retconned her age, like with this most recent movie. You know what I mean? Because I don't
Yeah.
remember what year like the other movies took place in.
I
So
thought I thought she was like a young like lady, as in like 10, because remember she had her birthday at like
yes. Yeah,
the
in like the first couple ones she was very young in Conjuring 1 at least. I don't really remember her presence in 2 or 3 very much.
it
And then she is one of the main characters in the Annabelle Comes Home spinoff, and she is a very small child in that as well.
yes, yeah.
So
And
yeah,
didn't they have the
I'm wondering like what years those movies take place in and compared to what year this movie takes place in, because this movie takes place in the year that it does take place in real life in like 1985. So I don't know if the other ones take place when they actually take place also in like earlier years, and then I don't know. So some her age in the franchise versus in real life is not, it doesn't match up. Also, they have had so many actors play her, it kind of makes me sad and annoyed. Like McKenna Grace played her in Annabelle Comes Home, and then the same actor did play her for 1, 2, and 3, but then for this movie they got a new actress. So I'm very curious as to why they didn't get the same one from the other Conjuring movies for this one.
or McKenna Grace. That well, she's probably booked and busy.
They,
Or
yeah, probably. But Yeah, I'm very interested to, I wonder if I could find her online and be like, girl, what's the tea?
What other project did you do?
But yeah, this girl was good and she does look a lot like the other girl from the other Conjuring movies. I think McKenna Grace looks far less like either of them than they do
Mhm.
each other. But yeah. Um Also, so I don't know if you saw, like, there's like news after, so this was the biggest opening weekend for a Conjuring franchise movie,
Mhm.
and I was seeing stuff online about like another spinoff being announced because of that or whatever.
Bro, just let
So
it rest.
so people were like, y'all are getting the wrong message. Like, we don't want more spinoffs. We just want more Vera and Patrick as Ed and Lorraine. Which I agree with, because while I like overall enjoy the spinoffs, they're definitely like nowhere near the quality of one and two at least. And obviously, like, I do love like Ed and Lorraine, and specifically obviously Vera and Patrick as them more than like any of the other characters from like the spin-offs or whatever. Um so yeah, but I did like the there were younger versions of the characters in this movie, and I thought their actors were really good and looked really good too. So I would be for a prequel with them. That would be cool, I feel like. Do you like have you seen like all the Annabelles and the Nuns?
I told you no. I can't watch stuff like that. In my old apartment, I tried to watch like a lot of scary stuff in the old apartment. But now that I'm a homeowner, hell no. Nope. Nope. Hell no. Because I don't know, my parents' house fucked up that house with all the scary movies I used to watch. There's an energy feeling. So yeah, nope. And even
Mhm.
whenever I watched one movie that you told me to watch, Long Legs. Whenever I watch Long Legs
Oh,
here, I was
yeah, we
like,
watched it.
oh,
I watched it with you.
yep. I was like, oh hell no.
She was
Hell
like, I
no.
rebuke the devil.
Literally, I was like, oh hell no. I was terrified. And then Loki, so like how my backyard is in my window, I was scared to look out that window at night. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna see something. Um, and then I think I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, I was not fucking with it at all. I was like, oh God. So yeah, no.
I feel
Mm-mm, that's
like in my memory, I'm like, oh, I like all the Annabelle movies. Loved Annabelle Comes Home,
mm,
but I don't. And I looked on my letterbox on how what I rated all these movies. I rated
mhm.
Annabelle Comes Home 4.5 because I remember loving it, and I remember a bunch of people like in the like horror Instagram community loving it. I have a poster for it because my brother works at the movie theater, so I get him to get me posters of the movies I like. I have a poster of that I had up on my wall for a while. But I don't think it's like good like Conjuring one and two. I feel like it's more like just entertainment value and like campy good than like actually good quality. You know what I mean?
Isn't the guy from or like this the
My
guy from
man.
the Summer I Turned Pretty, the knockoff
No,
and oh, you know who I'm talking about, right?
no. Who
He's
are you?
brown.
Yeah. But who from the summer I turned pretty? Who are you?
Benito. He
Oh,
looks just like
no.
Benito.
No,
Yes,
he
he
doesn't.
does. Yes, he
Not.
does. Yes,
No,
he
he
does.
doesn't. He doesn't
Yes,
look anything like him. Oh my
he
God.
looks
No,
just
no, no,
like
no.
Benito.
That's my man, Michael Cimino from Love Victor.
Yes, yes, and he looks
And
just
he's
like
gonna be
Benito.
he no, he doesn't at all. And he's gonna be in my show Blood for Blood one day, manifesting. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, and then the Nun movies, it's funny because again, in my memory, I'm like, I don't fuck with the Nun movies. They were bad. But then I looked up my ratings, and I rated the first one 4 stars. So I did like that one, which is weird that I don't remember it. But yeah, the second one did not really like. Um, and then there was one Conjuring Universe movie that I completely wiped from my memory. I forgot it even existed because it's so bad until I saw that the director who did that one directed this new Conjuring movie, and then it all came flooding back, and I was like, and it is La Llorona. Awful,
Oh,
god awful
oh,
movie.
hold on.
So fucking bad.
Don't tell me the director. Oh my God, James Victor.
No.
Oh, dude, it's from the evil line.
His name is Michael Chavez.
Oh,
And
never mind.
I found out something very, very interesting and funny to me. He has
What?
directed literally all of my least favorite Conjuring universe movies. All the ones that I rated the lowest, he's the director for. Conjuring 4, Conjuring 3, La Llorona, and The Nun 2. Like, I was like, are you serious, bro? What the fuck?
Can I say something really quickly?
Yes.
Uh, is La Llorona, is that movie like the movie? Is it based in Mexico or is it based in another place?
I don't remember where it takes place. I don't think it was Mexico. Maybe it
That's
was. I
it.
don't
That's all I
remember.
need to know. Because I'm pretty sure I'm only asking you because I thought you'd know, like off the top of your head. I might have to Google it, but I'm
Girl,
pretty
no,
sure it was
I
like,
just said I wiped that memory. I
oh,
mean,
I'm
that movie from
sorry.
my memory because it was so
I'm
bad.
I'm pretty sure like it said it was like in LA and then like but
Maybe.
my whole thing is like
That sounds familiar.
you can't change something that huge and put it in like LA or like that's fucking stupid. No.
I also don't understand why that's even like a Conjuring universe entry when
Mhm.
it has like they never mentioned those in the other that in the other movies. Like obviously
Mhm.
Annabelle and the Nun are in part 1 and 2 of the Conjuring. Ed and Lorraine aren't in it. Like, there's not, I don't remember. Maybe there's a priest or something that's in the Conjuring movies that's in this one that connected it. I don't remember. But no,
Well,
that
my
movie was so bad because, which it's funny because we talked about this. I think it was our very first episode of this podcast ever, like the very first one, which I
mhm.
accidentally clicked on the other day when I was editing last week's episode
Uh-huh.
because like in my file when I go to it like just regularly it's
Mhm.
sorted one way, and then when I go to it like when I'm uploading it's sorted the opposite way. So I
Mhm.
clicked on like the one at the top thinking it was the most recent one, but it was the oldest one. And then I was fast forwarding it to try to find this part that I was trying to find, and it was literally at that part where I was talking about talking about this because like someone in like first grade I have a very distinct memory of like someone telling me about La Llorona on the school bus like during a field trip, and I was saying like I think it was either you or Andrea or maybe both of you or whatever. And yeah, so I just think that's funny that I accidentally went to that part in the episode and then like now or like talking about it. But yeah, so because of that, like that story always really like terrified me. So whenever that movie was announced, I was like,
Uh-huh.
ooh, this is gonna be good. No, no.
No. My whole thing is like you could have spun it like a whole different way. You could have put like an American family, like if you wanted to include the whites so bad, you could have just put like an American family moving to Mexico because of something. But
Yeah,
overall, or you could have just made a lady in white. You could have just done that. That's like the Americanized version of it. But like
yeah.
why did you have to like do that to like literally like a Mexican like story? You could have just left her in Mexico and now she's probably gonna get deported. Like what the hell? They're probably gonna try to anywho, yeah, no, that's stupid because it she literally walks the streets of Mexico and goes to villages and she just does out of pocket shit in Mexico. It's
That
ridiculous.
crazy bitch.
For real. She's like, help me find my kids. That's a whole. other thing and why I kind of don't want to go to Mexico. My dad has invited me several times because like he has land over there and everything. And he's been like, "Girl, let's go." And I'm like, "No, I know that bitch is real. I know she's real." Because my
She's
dad,
gonna cry for me, and
yes,
I
and
can't resist her. I have to
I'm a,
help.
yes, I'm an empath, and
Exactly.
no, and my cousins have stories about like stuff that they've seen spirit wise in Mexico, like scary, and like I just like Mexico is a very like spiritual land. Like there's a lot of stuff that like there's you can hire witches in Mexico that like literally
You
they have
mean
like a
bruja?
yes, but I was just trying to make it more American friendly. They have like altars and everything, and like you pay these people, these women and men, but you pay them to, to get more money, to make someone fall in love with you, all that stuff, and like because there's so many people that do that, um, you see some stuff, but my cousins, they've seen like human sized like owls at night, and like
Oh,
weird.
hell no.
They've
Bitch,
seen
what
some
the
like,
fuck?
yeah, they've seen stuff like that, and then I was like, y'all are lying, and I'm like, and they always say like, no, like it's no, and it's true though, because like whenever there's like parties like in Mexico, like they go back inside, or they just stay like they but they pretty much like say like don't wander in the darkness because like
Mm,
there's shit over there, which is true.
like
um
Appalachia.
yeah, yes, dude, and I feel like in Appalachia, I feel like there's a lot of like spirits over there, and that's why, which I mean like there's a lot of places that have a lot of spirits, but I just feel
Yeah.
like they're, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, he's fucking
Yeah.
stupid for bringing it to LA. Dumb bitch. Fucking
Yeah. I
taking.
don't know why they did that. It was very odd. And clearly, at least I think it seems like they learned from that because they didn't try to, they haven't done another spinoff that isn't like more directly connected to the main Conjuring franchise, you know? So,
Mhm.
oh, but I completely forgot to say that. So, the spinoff that I saw people talking about that was announced, it wasn't, the spinoff itself was not announced. It was so there's a Conjuring TV show in the works. Nobody knows like what that means, what it's about, if that means like Ed and Lorraine are going to be in there or what. Um, but it was announced in 2023, and what was announced this weekend, well, I don't, it wasn't like officially announced by anyone. It was just, I think Variety reported on it from like their sources told them that the showrunner and a couple of the writers were revealed this weekend. So that is what happened. So yeah. And that's gonna supposed to be like an HBO Max show. Um, but speaking
I will
of
not be watching that.
recent events that we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, as I'm sure I feel like everyone knows that like Annabelle went on a little tour and then she went like missing or something. I don't know. I don't really know all the details, but then the unthinkable happened, and the news that Matt freaking Rife of all people bought Annabelle. That's what the news was saying. That's what everyone, well, I don't know if, to be fair, I don't know if the official sources were saying that, but that's what, everyone is saying on social media. Which is a little wrong. It's not really the like whole truth, which I only found out because Tony Spera, who is Judy, who is their daughter, um, her husband, Tony Spera, on Facebook made a post like explaining the situation because I'm sure he's also getting a lot of flack for it because, a lot of people don't fuck with Matt Rife. Us being two of them because no,
Fuck that
just
snaggletooth
no,
bitch.
sir.
And I know he got his teeth fixed, but fuck that snaggletooth bitch.
He
He
is
is
a
ugly.
misogynist. That's the only one I remember for sure, but I'm sure maybe some other things too. But yes,
Um,
not a great guy that
and he
we
was trying
like.
to put the moves on underage Zendaya. How dare you?
Oh yeah.
How
Mm.
dare you?
Um. So Tony, who is a character in the latest movie, by the way.
Tony
As
Soprano?
I said, she's getting married to him in that one. Tony Spera on Facebook. This is a very long post, but I'm just gonna find this one specific part to read. Basically he was saying like they sold the house and the building that houses the artifacts because they couldn't afford to keep the house anymore and trying to maintain that one as well as their own. Because that is the artifacts were housed like in the Warren's house, like in the movies, and was like a museum that you could visit. Um,
How do they not have money if like are they not getting paid from like the Conjuring stuff? Like
bro,
I'm
I know
confused.
that's what I'm wondering too. And also, they have like obviously, as I mentioned, a son before, but I'm pretty sure they have more than one child as well. And I'm like, y'all couldn't all pull together? Like, that
Yeah, why would you
sucks.
not?
That's such bullshit. Like these movies, as I said, this newest movie especially had the biggest opening weekend out of the whole franchise. And now the people, like the real life people behind it, can't afford to keep the house and stuff and like had to freaking sell stuff. Like that's bullshit. That's awful.
My
But
whole thing is like how can you make a movie based on like these people's parents and everything and not give them like royalties or just something? And it's
yeah,
sad that like why couldn't that be like in a contract where like okay, you can do that, but like just as long as I get enough money to subsidize me being like keeping this home for me and my family. Like I
yeah,
understand
I
it's a
don't know. Like, or at least like even if not that, like I feel like I'm kind of surprised that Warner Brothers or James Wan or whatever didn't step in and they weren't the purchasers of this stuff,
other thing,
instead of
yeah.
Matt fucking Rife. Like,
You know what?
James Wan, can you come to the rescue, please?
At the end of the day, if you're selling to Matt Rife, I think you deserve whatever is happening to you for you keeping him in your circle. And
That's what I was thinking this whole time. Also, like, just that fact, like, kind of made me, like, not like them and as well and whatever, because obviously, like, as we said, Matt Rife is a misogynist and, like, very often doesn't show respect to not people who are not white cis men, so I can't imagine him showing the proper respect to these artifacts and whatnot, but
mhm.
then again, like I was thinking of it and I was like, well, that just goes to show that how much he doesn't respect women, that he will respect these haunted items more than them and stuff.
Well, not only that, but like, dude, you're kind of fucking around with like spirits that you don't even know of. And
Yeah,
like
like you're not a like you don't do this. You're not a professional in any sort of sense. Like,
capacity.
another thing I'm kind of shocked by, which I hadn't thought of this until now, I'm surprised Zach Baggins
Zach
didn't get
Baggins.
his hands on that.
Well, that or like
Didn't
it should it should also show maybe us as consumers, and I say consumers since we consume like The Conjuring and we do all that. Maybe Zach Baggins is like that shit's. I don't fuck with that because like it's not even real. Like it's not even like something that is an actual thing. You know,
no,
I don't.
I think he does because he's done stuff.
At
He did stuff like at the house from the like first Conjuring movie, like the real life scenario, whatever. And he has a large collection of artifacts and stuff, obviously, at his museum in Las Vegas, and like very like badly haunted ones. I think probably Zach and Warner Brothers and James Wan and all these people that we're like thinking could have been better owners. I don't
Mhm.
think they were aware that
Of
that was
what
an
was
option to
happening.
be an owner. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think because so in Tony's post, he's just saying like they wanted to sell for a while, but they wanted to sell the building and the house, not the actual artifacts. And definitely obviously didn't want to just throw them out or whatever. And then it
Well,
got to the
yeah, you
point
can't fucking throw
where
it out, you dumbasses.
and then it
The
got to the
fuck?
point where they had to become serious about it. And he said, Dan Rivera, my best friend and business partner, knew we wanted to sell. One day he called me and said he thought he may have a buyer for the house and had an idea for the artifacts. He contacted Elton Cassie from the Overnight Channel on YouTube and discussed the dilemma with him. They came up with what I believe was an ingenious idea. Elton and his very good buddy, Matt Rife, would buy the house. They would open it up as an Airbnb with a slant towards paranormal guests who could stay overnight and investigate a haunted house. They also came up with this. They would lease the artifacts from Judy and I for a fee. They would then find a suitable location to open a museum down the road and house our artifacts and give tours. At no time will they own the artifacts. So they will own the house, the Warren's house, and they're opening that for an Airbnb. They're moving the artifacts from the house down the road to a separate museum location, and they are not owning the artifacts. They are leasing them to use in the museum. And then the lease is for 5 years, at which time we can negotiate further lease options or have the artifacts returned to us. So yeah, and then he
But
said a lot
that's
more too, but obviously that's like not like super necessary for me to read, and it's a lot, so I'm not going to read it. But yeah,
But I feel like that is so irresponsible at the same time because it's irresponsible in a way of like if you are not spiritual and you don't know how to cleanse yourself after stuff like that, if you don't know like what you're doing, it's definitely harmful. I feel like you have to
yeah,
be aware of stuff like that. And some people are gonna be like, oh, it's haunted, and not look further into like the stuff that you need to do to protect
that's how
yourself.
I felt like about the news whenever the stuff about like when everyone's like Annabelle's going on tour and stuff. That's what I felt. It was like this seems like I don't like this. That doesn't seem.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people felt the same way. And a bunch of people were like, the Warrens literally said like it's too like dangerous, like you and she should never be moved, blah, 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 whatever. But then there were
Hmm.
other people saying like actually they did say that, but then they did bring her places to themselves and stuff. So I don't really know. I haven't looked into all of it very
Yeah.
much, but
Hell
yeah.
no. Because after stuff, and I'm just saying, my fellow friends, if you want to ghost adventure, if you want to do all that, do it. But please be smart. You do have to take precautions after you do stuff like that. You literally have to cleanse yourself because spirits
And
attach themselves to
after
you.
doing a Ouija board, you
Oh,
have to
fuck
say
no.
goodbye. You have to say goodbye and close out the session. There are rules to these things. You need to be prepared. Don't joke around. Don't antagonize them like
Mm.
Zach Bagans.
Mm-mm. Hell no. That's one thing I will never do in my
Oh,
life.
God.
Hell no. I will never ever partake in that. No. Even when I went to the Goatman's Bridge with my friends, like,
Bro, I was literally going to tell you we need to go. I've never been.
girl, it's scary. It's very scary. Whenever
And take my equipment that you
we
got me
did,
for Christmas that time, remember?
huh?
Remember you got me like ghost hunting equipment stuff for Christmas
Mm-hmm.
because I had it on my Amazon list. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
used it yet.
You have to, you know what? You start making your Christmas list already. Oh, but whenever I went to the Goatman's Bridge, I'm gonna make this very, very quick. I did. I'm just gonna say this right now. I did experience some paranormal stuff because my phone was working before, like you get into like, if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you, basically, it's like you going to my garage or like from my garage to like the couch and like you kind of enter like the woods, but that's literally the distance. My phone stopped working. It stopped working. It was cold as shit. It was a fucking summer night, dude. It was a summer night. How the fuck did it get cold? Why? um and then my phone, basically we ended up finding like people in the woods. It sounds scary. But we found people in the woods and they were basically saying that they were lost and that they've been trying to get out of the woods. But it's so fucking crazy because it's pretty much like a circle and like, I don't know. Yes, you could take twists and turns, but like it leads you back into like a circle. But like if you, I don't know, if you pay attention to your surroundings, there's like pentagrams and there's like shit like that all over the trees. And it was just very cold. I can't emphasize how cold it was. It felt like a winter night, but it was summer. But it was only like in certain spots where it was like freezing. And then we my friends Melanie and Ellison, you know what I'm talking about. And then basically we were getting deeper into the woods, and then guess what we found? We found a police officer. He was just there. I was like, huh? And then he was
Oh,
like, I swear to God, I swear, he like came and he was like, he was doing this, and he was like, hey, do y'all know about gunshots? And I was like, huh? And then I was trying to flirt with this man. I was scared. I was like, no, officer, I haven't heard of no gunshots. And I was like, you have some guns on you. And he was like, okay. And I was like, these guns. And he was not, he did laugh. He did laugh, but he was like, no. And then like it kind of took us like a second to process what was happening. And then we looked to the side, but when you're walking, it did not feel like that, and you cannot see cars. We looked to the side, and then basically we were at the side of the road, but it did not feel like that. It was really weird. It just did not feel like we were in a more public place than we were. Yeah, that's it. It's scary. I didn't get on the actual bridge because there is people on the bridge and they were playing around too fucking much. They
mm.
had the fucking rods, and then they were Caucasian and they were on the fucking bridge, and I saw that and I was like, fuck that. Not because they were Caucasian, but there's a board, I was like, y'all play too goddamn much. No, they're using the Ouija board, and I was like, y'all play too much. I'm not doing that. Hell no, I'm not even
Uh-uh.
walking past y'all. I'm not doing nothing.
You
But
know, I almost filmed a movie there with an acquaintance. So, okay, I had a friend from college that one time I went to a convention with her and her friend is a fellow aspiring filmmaker.
mhm.
And then so I became friends with him on like Facebook and whatever after that. And he was making, and they're from Denton. So he was
They're
making a
from Denton.
movie. Yeah, he was making a movie about uh the like Goatman's Bridge myth, whatever you want to call it.
It's not no man.
And I was like, yeah, I want to help. So I was gonna be like script supervisor.
Hmm.
Um and he was gonna come pick me up for it whenever too. But then I ended up not being able to do it because then I was sick and then something else had happened too. I forget what it was. I don't know, but yeah. And
Girl.
then I feel
Hmm.
like then he was like, I'm not fucking with you anymore. I'm like, it was not my fault. I was sick. He didn't say that, but I just got those vibes that after that
Yeah.
he was like, you're fake. No, I don't like you. I got those vibes after that. I was like,
Hmm.
but it's
I
it's
can't
okay.
help
It's
it.
fine. Yeah. What
Well,
else was it? Oh, I was gonna say, so my only like super, super paranormal experience where I like definitely without a doubt experience something. Like I feel like I have like a lot of things that I'm like, I've sent stuff and whatever, and like things have moved,
hmm.
but like obviously like that could be whatever. Like I don't have like super hard like proof or feelings that like those were for sure paranormal. Like I'm pretty sure they were, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the only one that like for sure definitely know that about it in my mind is that which I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on the podcast too, also might have been in that first episode, to be honest. Um, but me and two of my former best friends were driving in a car to the one friend's house. She was driving, I was in the passenger seat, and our other friend was in the back seat. And it was the 4th of July, which makes a lot of people discount this story because they're like, it was just a firework. No, shut the fuck up, bitch. I know what a fucking firework is. I'm not fucking stupid. Anyway, we're driving to her house, and then me and my friend who was driving, we both saw it. A green orb went across the road in front of us from the right to the left. So, like, from my side to her side across the road that way. And we were both like, oh my God. And then our friend in the back seat was like, what happened? She didn't see it. And we were like, a fucking orb. So yeah, it wasn't, also this was like kind of a like country-ish road. Like there wasn't any stoplights there, so it wasn't a stoplight. There were no other people around. It was not a fucking firework, even though it was the
Hmm.
4th of July. Like, okay, guys. So yeah. And then obviously I immediately, when we got to her house, which it wasn't like super far away, I was like, what does a green orb mean? And it said green ones were for like regarding like fertility and stuff. So I was like, okay, ghost, I don't know what you're trying to say, but
I'm
sure,
just letting you
whatever.
know you're a fertile myrtle.
I think it's funny that non-believers of like supernatural and paranormal stuff think it's like all or nothing, and think that if you believe in ghosts and spirits, that you think every haunting story is true and everything's haunting and whatever. It's like, no, I judge them case by case. Like I'm sure maybe there are some people that do just like accept everything at face value, but I feel like most people are not like that, not only with paranormal, but obviously like any situation in life, you know. Most people are diverse and black and white and complicated and yada yada yada. So yeah, that's all I got to say about supernatural and the Conjuring and the Warrens. What about you?
Fuck the Warrens. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Um,
Yeah.
si se puede. You know, I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
He said,
Uh, you know, shit's fucked up. Let's go.
mm-hmm.
That's why I've been drinking more because
Yep.
shit's fucked up, man.
Follow us on the gram at XO, Fright Like a Girl. And my personal is at Morgan Jolsawan. Where can they find you, Brenda?
Brenda hates you underscore. I love my life.
She
That's
loves her
it.
life, but she hates you. Okay, love you.
Yeah.
Bye.